Today's video is completely different than anything I've posted so far. I had so much fun making it, but yeah, I'm not a professional makeup artist, but this is all for fun. So yeah, check it out and tell me what you think.
Started with a clean, moisturized, and primed face. And I'm going to use this sponge to apply my white layer of makeup. Now, let me just say, this is not the most expensive makeup in the world. And I think it was 97 cents at Walmart. So, yeah, the next time I do this, I will definitely use a better quality of makeup. My skin is, darker. So I just had to build. And so it took me a while to build this. And I just did, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 layers. And just kept building until I got to the desired color that I wanted. Notice that the face paint looks a little bit gray. That's just my skin color showing through the thin layer of white makeup. Don't worry about that. That'll go away. If you have darker skin like me, then, it'll look a little bit gray to begin with. But the more layers I put on, the more opaque the white becomes. I tried to dab the makeup on as opposed to just wiping it. And I played around with it until I could, see how it was building and go from there. Let me just say that this makeup is not the best. It's very inexpensive, but it did the trick for me. I also made sure that I moisturized my lips before I started. I didn't say that before, but this makeup dries your skin out a little bit. So I moisturized my lips with just some lip balm, and because they're going to be covered. And I also did my lips, towards the end. I tried it with the brush to like get in little areas and to get a little bit more coverage, and I really liked it. So I liked using the brush and the little sponge to get it on my face. This stuff kind of makes my nose itch a little bit. But anyway, I also wanted to make sure I got down on my throat and also my ears, just to kind of make it look a little more uniform. You don't have to do your ears if you don't like, especially if you have longer hair that might cover up your ears. But I liked it that way, and it, just added a little bit more. I mean, in reality, skulls don't have ears, but whatever. So yeah, I just kept going, kept building, made sure it was on my lips. I had this problem area right underneath my eye that it was like I put too much on there, so it kept coming off. But at the end of it, I just went back over it, and it worked out great. Okay, so now that my face is all nice and white, I'm gonna outline my eye sockets. The easiest thing to do is to just kind of follow the shape of your bone, your actual bone, the socket. I didn't make my circle perfect because I'm gonna go around it again, but try to make it as nice as possible. When I do this again the next time, I'll be much more careful about getting those circles around my eyes nice and perfect. I am also just using some black eyeliner. I went to the store and purchased the dollar eyeliner because I didn't want to use my good stuff for this. So yeah, just get yourself some inexpensive black eyeliner or use whatever you have in your house to go ahead and do that. So now it's time to start filling in the black parts around the eye. I started off with like a black, I don't know, face paint crayon just to get a base going. You can also use like those little crayons they use for eyeshadow and things like that. Um, After I did this, I went over it with black face paint, which I actually prefer as opposed to this crayon because the crayon itself kind of smudges the white a little bit. Maybe if it was a little better quality face paint to begin with. It wouldn't smudge it so much, but it definitely gave it like this gray look, and it felt like I was wasting my time. So here's just plain black face paint with a paintbrush. And then I, just went all over my eyes. I had primed them earlier just to help with the creasing and just to make sure the face paint stayed. I like this paint. It goes on so much easier than that stick. So yeah, so that's what I did here. I'm really trying to be careful about making the shape, circular and clearing out any of the imperfections. Notice it's not perfect, but it'll do for now. Like I said, my lips get dry, so make sure you moisturize ahead of time. So next is my nose. Skeletons don't have noses. So by painting the tip of the nose black, it kind of gives the illusion that there's no nose there. You can really make this any shape you want. I've seen some people do like spades or hearts or things like that. I just kind of wanted it to stay a little bit truer to what a nose might really look like, and it ended up looking like a heart. But anyway, I just used that black eyeliner to outline the shape that I wanted to do, and then I painted it in with the black face paint. It goes really smoothly, and it's pretty easy to do this part. Um, okay, so now that that's almost done, or pretty much done, I'm going to go ahead and start with the spider web on my forehead. I just used the black eyeliner again to outline the shape of the spider web. I'm going to use black eyeliner, black liquid eyeliner to paint these in. It's a little finer tip. Again, I just went and purchased some of the really inexpensive kind. I think this is actually e.l.f. brand, and it's only like $1. So I did that for the spider web lines. Um, I tried to follow the dots I made as closely as possible, but I do not have a steady hand. I really need to work on that. I'm used to writing on paper with a steady hand, not on my face. It's a lot harder than it seems, but it's absolutely doable, and just have fun with it. I know you saw where I messed up, but hey, I'm just going to leave it and keep going forward. So to make the web, just find a starting point and drape some little loops, and make sure you start the next section where you end it with the first section. And then at the end of it, you'll have what looks like a spider web right on your forehead. Okay, so now I'm going to just add a little bit of, decorations on there and start really embellishing the face to make it look cool and unique. This is where you can have fun and, make it yourself and all that good stuff. I did these little scrolls. I started with the black eyeliner again and then traced over it with the black face paint. I should have used the black liquid eyeliner to go over the line. I'm also going to put a spider right in the middle. You can make that as, fancy and ornate as you would like. Mine's just going to be really simple. Remember, your lips will dry out. I tried the cream stick, the white cream stick on my lips, and that worked beautifully. It was a lot more moisturizing, and just went back over it. Okay, so here goes my spider. I, in retrospect, probably should have done an upside down spider. It would have looked cooler. But I just, partitioned it into two pieces, a little head and a fatter body, and then I threw some legs on there. But, you could do a heart, you could do, a flower, whatever you really want to do. But for me, it's a spider. So now I'm going to add some color. I'm using this little red crayon for my face. I don't really like it after trying it out. So maybe this video is like a tutorial and review. But I just wanted to add a little bit more dimension and a little more color. So I'm just throwing some of this red onto the, right up under the scrolls and kind of playing around with that to see how I like it. Okay, so now I'm going to add, I guess you can call them petals or lace edges or something, right around my eye. I started with the little brush that came in a kit. This is a different type of red, pinkish face paint, but I ended up using a Q-tip with it, just because the brush, kind of holds a lot of paint and it made it clumpy. I actually preferred the brush because the Q-tip fell apart, but there's also a little brush end on that brush thing that came in the kit, so that worked okay. Again, better quality of makeup would have made this a lot easier. I had trouble getting it the desired shape that I wanted, but since I know I'm going to go over it, I'm just going to wing it and see how it goes. Okay, so I have those around my eye, and now I'm going to use the liquid eyeliner to trace around the dots per se, just to define them a little bit better and give them more shape and to really separate them and fill in those spots. The best thing I can say about this part is to really take your time and define the shapes. If you go too fast, you're just gonna mess it up and not really like how it looks. You can already see a difference between the side that the side that's already done and the side that I'm working on. That black outline really, really adds like a pop of dimension and just helps it look even better. So next, I think I'm gonna just add some dots on here. Again, I'm using the liquid eyeliner and just going in, dotting around my eye, making some cool shapes, um, just to add a little bit more to the design that's on my face. So let's get those teeth going. Take your either liquid liner or your face paint with a thin, thin brush, and you're going to draw a line from your lip, the crease of your lip, out towards your ear. Now you can make yours less, I guess, pronounced. Mine is really goes really high up, but you could go a little bit straighter if you'd like. Now we're gonna take all that contouring you picked up and put it to good use for this one. All I did was take a brush and dabbed it with a little bit of the black and white, and I'm gonna kind of, just contour a little bit along my cheeks. This just adds, I don't know, a little bit of hollowness. A skull doesn't really have cheeks, they're bone everywhere. You can make this as drastic or as subtle as you'd like. Um, a cool thing to do would just be to draw out the actual shape of your cheek underneath it so that it looks like you have nothing over there and just go over it in black. But I decided to just, make something a little bit different, and I'm just going in on my cheeks just to add a little bit more dimension and bring that on up under there. So now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and put my teeth in. I'm just going to do the ones on the corners of my mouth, not the ones over my lips just yet. But you could just do, 3 or 4 lines on each side. You can make them straight like I did, or you can disjoint them a little bit if you want to give it more of a crooked teeth look. But I just liked it that way. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little something to my chin. You could do a heart. You could do, I don't know, some kind of cool clouds or something. My intention here is to do a flower. Now, I know it doesn't exactly look like a flower, but just to understand it's supposed to be a flower. Again, you can make this as detailed as you would like. I started mine by just going over with some black eyeliner, just eyeliner pencil, to get the general shape of what I want. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add another color to my face, this time yellow, and I'm going to use it to color in the flower that's on my chin. Sorry it's cut off a little bit, but just know that I colored it in yellow with a Q-tip and some yellow face paint. I'm also going to just dot some yellow up at the top, just to add a little bit more. And I'm going over the black eyeliner pencil with some black face paint, just to pop out the petals just a teensy bit. Okay, so I'm almost finished. I'm just going to do a couple more things. The first one is just to add a little bit of scrolling to the side. I kind of felt like there was a lot of empty space still on my skull face. So I'm adding a little bit of scrolling. Notice that both sides are not the same. I'm kind of one of those people who feels like your face should have, should be siblings, not twins on both sides. I like a little bit of difference, but, it's totally up to you how you want to do it. You can make it exactly the same, or you can make it a little bit different, like I did here. So now I'm going to go ahead and finish up my teeth. I am going to make this line a little bit thicker just because when you open your mouth and close them, sometimes, your match points change. So I'm just kind of lining the inside of my lip with some black eyeliner pencil. And then I'm going to go over and make the lines with the liquid eyeliner, just like I did on the sides. And that's it. The only thing left for me to do is to add my flower crown. Now, notice I didn't go all the way down my neck. If you want to, go for it. This crown I made using some fake flowers and a headband. You can make it this way. You could put as many flowers on there as you'd like, or you could do a single flower. I really hope this helped somebody just to get an idea of how to do this. I actually wanted to make this video because when I was looking, I didn't see anybody with my skin tone, and I was wondering if it would be different to do it on my skin tone. I will say that definitely the building of the white makeup to begin with is important. Take your time to do it. You're going to have to do more, and just get nice, good coverage.